Okay, today we're going to be talking about 10 vehicles most recommended for gig economy apps such as DoorDash, Spark and Instacart, and Roadie. These vehicles have been researched by various YouTube channels such as Scotty Kilmer, Chris Fix, Eric the Car Guy, and I Do Cars. It is not the opinion of DoorDash or other gig economy apps. It is my personal opinion. Most recommended vehicle for gig economy apps is the Honda Fit. According to owners, both previous and current, this vehicle can easily reach 400 to 500,000 miles, which is unsurprising because it's a Honda, but it's outlasting the Accord and the Civic. It has a 1.5 liter four-cylinder engine, so this is truly an economy car. It's one of the smallest engines that you can get in a new vehicle. This looks like the best vehicle. I haven't driven it myself, but it gets very good gas mileage. It's very practical. If you can fold the seats down, you could probably even do Roadie with the Honda Fit, but this would be great for DoorDash, Instacart, because it's like a minivan. So I see it being very practical for deliveries. The vehicle is pretty unsurprising, and that's the Toyota Corolla. I believe it comes with a 1.6, similar to the Honda Civic. And this is a definite go-to economy car, old reliable. Like the Accord and the Civic, the Corolla has been around for a long time, and it is time-tested. You can get Corollas from the 80s that still run, but the Toyota Corolla in general is a very good vehicle. It can easily last up to 400,000 miles. And again, it's time-tested, so it's proven its reliability year after year. Number 3 is the Toyota Camry. It's pretty much, in the same wheelhouse as the Corolla. It does come with a larger engine, so it's going to be safer in certain collisions, like head-on collisions, but it's going to get lower gas mileage. The important thing about the Camry, though, is low maintenance. It can go the distance, just like the Corolla. It's time-tested. It's been around for a long time. You can still get a Camry from the early 90s, and it can still run pretty good, despite the fact that it's 30 years old. The number 4 spot, we're going back to Honda. It's the Accord, and this is unsurprising. It lasts and lasts. But with the Accord, it comes with, I believe, the 2.0 and the 2.5 liter V6. So the Accord has really good acceleration, really good drivability, reliability. The starter motors are great. These vehicles are very reliable at startup. They're very practical for delivery, good gas mileage, safe for their class. They're a bit small, but they're safe for their class. And just like the Toyotas, the Honda Accord is time-tested. The number 5 spot is the Honda Civic. I've owned this vehicle for over a year, and it's one of the best vehicles I've owned. But I can tell you, 33 miles per gallon, road and highway, pretty reliable on that. Very reliable at startup. So it's still pretty practical for delivery. The number 6 spot, we got the GM 3.8 liter V6. So it's more than one car technically. It's the Chevy Impala, the Pontiac Bonneville, the Buick LeSabre, and the Buick Park Avenue. So we're getting to a much larger engine, but it's still practical. The gas mileage is going to be lower than the first 5. It's going to be less profitable than the first 5 vehicles, but this is a long-lasting vehicle, and you really need that as well in order to make a profit in the gig economy. But the GM 3.8 is a great beater. It's probably better as a car to beat on than something to buy brand new. Again, definitely want to buy them used. Don't want to pay top dollar. The engine is good. It will last. It will probably outlast the transmission and the chassis. And the GM 3.8 is highly recommended by Car Wizard, Scotty Kilmer, so on and so forth. I Do Cars. I guess his name is Eric. So many mechanics really recommend the 3.8. Number 7 is the Volvo XC70 2000 to 2007. The XC70 is kind of the newer station wagon for Volvo. I'm not exactly sure what model it replaced, but Volvo has always made a station wagon. And I know about like the 240DLs from the 1980s and, other models, the XC60, which is, I believe, their SUV. This is a station wagon that probably gets maybe even slightly lower gas mileage than the GM 3.8 and the Chevy Impala. But with this vehicle, it's the safety. It is probably, even though it's a 20-year-old car, it's one of the safer ones on the list, which is a definite consideration. The other thing is longevity. If you can find it at a good enough price and you can afford it, it is definitely a good pick. It can do roadie, the larger orders for roadie. You can batch orders with Instacart or Spark. You can do catering gigs pretty easily with the amount of trunk space that you have. It's a very practical vehicle for delivering. Number 8, it's the Volkswagen Rabbit, which I believe hasn't been made for 30 years, so it is ancient. But the Golf is pretty similar, so I would put it in the same category. With Volkswagens, you want to go old and you want to go with the beaters. I would not buy a new Volkswagen, even 10 or 20 years old. I would go early 90s or older. But these vehicles are extremely pragmatic. The Rabbit, I believe, gets over 35 miles to the gallon. It can last forever. Volkswagens and Volvos are a little hard to work on if something does break, but it doesn't break that often. They're pretty reliable, especially in the right year. So number 8 goes the Volkswagen Rabbit. Number 9 is the Toyota Sienna, and the Toyota Sienna is a good pick, especially if you can fold the seats down in your minivan. You can do large roadie orders, and you can do anything. It's plenty of room. Minivan has plenty of room. Minivans typically come with a 3.6 to 3.8, maybe 4.0 liter V6. So they have a decent amount of power, but the gas mileage isn't really that bad. It's about the same as what you would get in a full-size car, so about 25 miles to the gallon. It's profitable enough, and because it'll give you options, it can be a lucrative investment. Number 10 is a vehicle that's incredibly small, probably not safe, and driven by Ned Flanders of The Simpsons. It's the Geo Metro. I would say, while this vehicle is incredibly small and probably not the safest on the list, probably even smaller than the Volkswagen Rabbit, it is going to be safer than a scooter. It is going to be safer than delivering in a motorcycle or a moped or whatever. Any of those vehicles, you're incredibly exposed if there's a crash. I would say if you have a choice between a moped and a Geo Metro, go with the Geo Metro in terms of safety. Outside of the issue of safety, the Geo Metro is absolutely perfect in every way, shape, or form. The gas mileage is about equal to the Toyota Prius. It's literally 42 to 45 miles to the gallon, and that's what a Prius actually gets for fuel economy. The car will last 400 to 500,000 miles. The maintenance cost is low. It's like $25 per tire. It can be a quarter of the cost of maintaining a V6 or a V8. If you're looking at cost of ownership and longevity, the Geo Metro is great. It's in the top 10 spot if you can get it, but understand that it might not be practical, it might not be safe depending on where you're driving, how fast you're driving, etc., etc. So that does it for the list. That's the top 10.